feel is pull. And I'm dropping everything to follow it.
I know you feel this pull and you are dropping everything to follow it.
It makes no sense and makes all the sense.
Yes. That's right. It makes no sense to the conditioned mind, but it's a pull. And if you feel into the pull, what would you say the pull is?
Pull to love?
Yes, it is the pull to love. It is the pull to love. We have had only a few short interactions, but there is something timeless. And its power is so immense that even in a few brief interactions, it has brought forth the force to drop the whole life, even though it makes no sense. I feel this pull because it is one pull. I feel this excitement and I feel this fear because the channel is open. And what it is open to looks like two, looks like many, but in truth, it is one. And when it is open to be felt. When it is open, there is something ready. And when you said there is an aspect that recognizes it makes sense, it's because there is something ready. And it is ready for something much bigger than you can imagine.
Oh, great. Go easy on me.
You see the silly nature of the mind. It takes something like this and turns it into fear. That the love is something much bigger than you can possibly imagine, and the mind turns it into fear. It is not the nature of your mind, it is the nature of mind. But when you are ready, the nature of mind is ready to be unshackled. So this teaching is brand new for you. Anything at any time comes up that creates any question, it's to feel free to come up and talk about it. You're very welcome. You know, Leif, you asked about self-inquiry. What is the point? You know, there are two aspects in what appears to be this journey home. Two roads that lead to the same place and actually merge. One is the path of devotion, and the other is the path of knowledge. Path of the bhakti and path of the jnani. Now, in the path of devotion, the mind, body are offered up. They are offered. It becomes an offering. It becomes prasad for the master. It is no longer your road, but what was you is an offering. This cannot possibly happen until there is such deep trust. There cannot be trust like this until the love has blown wide open, which is what it does. Then there is the path of knowledge. And as opposed to the mind being an offering in this is the use of mind to dismantle mind. And it begins experienced as great effort, because the mind is effort. But when the mind is being used to dismantle mind, it is using effort to deconstruct effort. So the nature of mind is that it is darting away all the time, and it is darting so fast it never lands on anything. But it keeps the distractive habit alive. In inquiry, instead of constantly darting and never landing, it is to land on where the darting is going to see what it is. When this is done, what is seen is that there is nothing there. It is the darting and never landing on anything that creates the illusion of there being something. And the fundamental place where it begins is me, the initial contraction. But inquiry, when it is driven by effort, it can ripen the ego. It can make what is running all over the place one-pointed. But that cannot bring you freedom. It can ready you. Eventually, at a certain juncture, the beauty begins to seep in, the trust begins to root itself. And the love affair with the self becomes so much more important than the creation of some separate one, that the movement into the investigation is driven by devotion to the self, not by me getting something. It is driven by passion instead of effort. When this occurs each time this investigation happens, it is a release of effort instead of a creation of effort. It stops being mental and it starts being the simplicity of feeling, who am I? Feeling yourself. As soon as you feel yourself, the tensions and efforts are released. It is the end of the exercise, not the beginning. It is no pointedness, not one-pointedness. It is the end of pointing anywhere. And this is where they merge. and all of the information that is offered, all of the true offering in the words are alive in the moment. And in one moment's recounting, it becomes a distraction of mind. And it seems like the words have value because of content. But the truth is the content is the veneer that opens something, and it is the connection that happens in the opening that is really doing the work. And what is eternal leaves no trace in time. You know, everyone in here has heard me speak, but probably you have not everyone, but most, that in the young relationship, my young relationship with Ramana Maharshi, there was this hypervigilance around self-inquiry because there was this love that opened so big and this intensity to follow the teaching. And what came in right at the get-go is, for you, self-inquiry is unnecessary. All you need do is come into me. It is because the heart and the trust was already open. And now, right along the lines of the monologue, the presence of the Master just fills the space. It is not possible to figure out how. The mind is helpless, meaningless. But the beauty is here.
Something you said that created this huge shift.
Yeah, something that was spoken that created a huge shift.
And it was having the devotion, which is attention on the self and the love of the self, rather than not trying to do something with the mind.
Yes, having the simple attention on the devotion to the self instead of trying to do something with the mind.
It's huge.
Yes.
Just all of a sudden everything let go.
Yes, all of a sudden everything's let go. You know, it's so beautiful to see. The mind so often creates something out of what it calls the self. But one of the reasons why I love to use the word love is because everyone has tasted the feeling of love. And it does not matter if mind is active or mind is silent to experience the feeling of love. The feeling might be turned in the mind as being due to some circumstance or someone, but in the simple feeling it in the moment, it is a feeling, it is non-locational, and nothing that arises has any influence upon it. It's just here. And it's in battle with nothing. It is not becoming something it is. And the more you drink it in, the more it opens. And the more it opens, the more the conditioning unravels, because there is this natural yielding, not because of diligence. It is what happens in true love. There is yielding into it.
It all seems so easy.
Yes, it all. Do you know why, sweetie, it seems so easy all of a sudden? Because it is.
It is.
Just feeling the love that is. And if something is appearing that seems to be in the way of it, then it is to recognize, what would pure love do with this feeling? It would do nothing, because it is going nowhere. It has no battle. It has nothing to seek. And in this is complete acceptance. And in complete acceptance is pure love. And in pure love is the recognition of what is never touched. And even what the mind would have looked at as the disturbance in this is recognized not to be a disturbance at all, but to be an offering that in fact always is dismantling something that had been conditioned. And everything that seems to be an interference is revealed only to be that. How amazing.
Yeah.
Gangotri, I just wanted to say that I can feel you so much more. It is such magic. You can never find where it is coming from. This idea of some character needing to do something which is very necessary in the young stages, and it is what is most often offered in teachings because most students are very young. But once once the wandering mind has some degree of control, once the hunger is true, once the trust is deep enough because of the taste that has become pure enough, then it is about releasing the clenched fist as opposed to clenching the fist. Thank you all for satsang.